What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. WWE news and rumors for the week ending October 20th, 2013. And like I've been saying to everybody who's been watching my WWE videos, fuck those other guys. Fuck those other guys on YouTube. This is your number one source for all your WWE needs because JD is best for business. Now, if you guys missed my WWE news and rumors last week, if you guys missed my opinion on Goldust and Cody Rhodes winning the WWE Tag Team Championships and defeating The Shield on Monday Night Raw, both of those videos will be down in the description below. Go check them out. Highly recommended. But, I'm going to start off this week again with reports on Hulk Hogan. Where is he going? Is he staying with TNA or is he going to WWE? I have the most up-to-date news on what WWE is thinking about Hulk Hogan. Now, new reports are indicating that Hulk Hogan will be staying with TNA as TNA offered Hogan more money than the WWE did. Word is that Hogan was offered nowhere close to what the other stars in previous years were offered by WWE. Now, the money that Hogan will be making in 1 year with TNA is the same as The Rock and Brock Lesnar are making for just one match with the WWE. Okay? Now, reports as of this past weekend, reports leaked out saying that Hulk Hogan has yet to resign a deal with TNA Wrestling. Okay? Those are amidst reports that he would be heading back to TNA and not going to the WWE due to financial reasons. TNA began running Bound for Glory advertisements featuring Hogan last week. However, in what could be yet another indication that Hogan has yet to resign with TNA, the company has now pulled him from all advertisements for this Sunday night's big event. Now, as of today, Brian Alvarez of Figure 4 Weekly, WWE reports that Hogan is out of the question right now for WrestleMania 30. They are completely ruling out Hulk Hogan for WrestleMania 30, as the company does indeed expect him to resign with TNA. But the WWE has another ace up their sleeve. They are now eyeing Sting for a possible appearance at the big event, and this is nothing new. This is nothing new. The reports of Sting heading back to WWE blossom once a year because he signs year-to-year contracts just to keep his options open. Now, with TNA being in a state of total disarray, the report notes that WWE believes it can bring in Sting for WrestleMania. The WWE side believes that Hogan's ultimately going back to TNA, but they also feel that there is a decent chance for them that they may end up getting Sting for WrestleMania 30. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Do you guys remember? Now, do you guys remember those cryptic promos? The long black trench coat, you know, the mysterious guy walking into the cabin in the rain, in the forest, in the middle of nowhere, right? Those were cut for Sting. I don't care what anyone says. Those promos were cut for Sting because the WWE knew that they had a legitimate shot at bringing in Sting to fight The Undertaker at WrestleMania that year. Okay? Now, which one do I want? Obviously, I'd love to have both. But if Hogan is going back to TNA due to financial reasons because the WWE lowballed him, WWE needs to make every attempt possible to bring in Sting. Why? Because this is Sting. Do you have any idea what this is going to do for the product? Do you understand that? Fathom that for a second. Can you imagine Sting on Monday Night Raw? Building up promos? Who is this guy? What's going on? Is he finally coming? And we're all watching and Sting is just fucking hanging from the rafters. Can you imagine a program being built with The Undertaker for WrestleMania 30? I don't care who The Undertaker is rumored to be fighting. Cena, Rock, Lesnar, Punk. I don't care. I don't care. If Sting is coming into the WWE, there is only one man I want staring down The Undertaker at WrestleMania 30, and that is Sting. That's it. I don't want to see anybody else. That would be one of the biggest matches to ever happen at WrestleMania. Fans want to see it. Everyone wants to see it. The world wants to see it. I've been waiting to see it for the last 5 years. This is the absolute best chance. And this is what Vince needs to do. Break open that checkbook and leave it blank. WrestleMania 30 needs to be the biggest event of all time. Of all time. I don't care what came to be from the past. I don't want to talk about past WrestleManias. WrestleMania has been so underwhelming for the last 5 years that I'm going to completely ignore it on my calendar. That's how I feel about WrestleMania after the despicable shit that we've seen with storylines and angles and The Rock ruining fucking WrestleMania, being handed the WWE Championship just to fight John Cena again and hand it over at WrestleMania. Nobody wanted to see that. WrestleMania this year was absolutely predictable from top to bottom. Vince needs to have a blank checkbook, sign who you want to sign, spend the money, and make WrestleMania 30 the biggest event of all time. Build towards the future. You're headed. The next milestone here is WrestleMania 50. You want this one to be the standout show, one that will never be forgotten. The past 5 years of WrestleMania, I couldn't tell you what the fuck happened on any one of them besides The Undertaker and CM Punk. Shawn Michaels, HBK. That's it. I don't give a fuck about The Rock. I don't care about John Cena. I don't care. None of that interested me at all. Not interesting. Wasn't. It was too predictable. Sting versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Shawn Michaels versus HBK at WrestleMania. CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. Ryback versus Goldberg at WrestleMania. I don't know who you're going to fight Lesnar. I don't know who you're going to put against Lesnar. Put him against Randy Orton. That's been brewing, in the rumor mill. I don't care. You got so much talent that you can bring in. Sign them. Put them on the card. Forget everybody else on the undercard. This is WrestleMania we're talking about. There's only one WrestleMania 30. I know you guys are probably cursing at me. Oh, what about Ziggler? What about Barrett? What about The Miz? What about this one? What about that one? Whatever. This is WrestleMania 30. WrestleMania 30. You guys need to understand. Vince wants to make this the biggest event of all time. How are you going to do that? By one way only. By getting the biggest names in the company's history. That's it. That's it. That's what you got to do. And that's my opinion on that. Sting needs to be in WWE. Sting needs to be at WrestleMania. Sting needs to be looking directly at The Undertaker in the middle of that ring at WrestleMania 30. WrestlingDVDnews.com reported this week that they are waiting confirmation on a Shawn Michaels WrestleMania Matches DVD and Blu-ray that was scheduled by the WWE for a February or March 2014 release. A fan asked HBK about this on Twitter, and he confirmed the news. Michaels filmed interviews for the release while he was at last week's Monday Night Raw to set up the Hell in a Cell appearance, as he is the special guest referee between Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton. From WrestleMania 5 to WrestleMania 26, Shawn Michaels wrestled in 17 WrestleMania matches that could be featured on the DVD. The ones, obviously, that stand out to me, you got HBK versus Chris Jericho. You got HBK versus John Cena. You got HBK versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25, which is probably the absolute greatest WrestleMania match of all time. It may be the greatest match ever, in my honest opinion. HBK versus Kurt Angle. I could go on and on. That's something I will definitely be picking up when it's released, and there's a reason why they call Shawn Michaels Mr. WrestleMania. Interesting story on Bray Wyatt. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but Bray Wyatt appeared to injure himself at Saturday night's WWE live event in Providence, Rhode Island. Bray Wyatt chased Darren Young outside of the ring, but went down very hard, leading to a quick match finish and the dreaded X symbol by the referee. The Wyatt family ended up defeating Young, Titus O'Neil, and R-Truth in a handicap match. In an update, several fans in attendance have noted that Wyatt appeared to legitimately hurt his left leg. He may have ran into the barricade or tripped over part of the railing. Another fan noted he injured himself jumping off the apron and fell into part of the railing. Wyatt was limping around badly before being helped to the back by Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. Now, this is a sad incident because they had plans for Bray Wyatt to go against The Miz at Hell in the Cell. Obviously, you've seen it on WWE TV on Monday Night Raw. Bray Wyatt is tormenting The Miz, all right? He's tormenting The Miz. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why he's doing it. Apparently, he said that he hates everything that The Miz is, Hollywood and, reality TV shows and this and that and whatever. All right? It's an interesting storyline because I'm a big fan of Bray Wyatt, and I'm very much looking forward to watching him grow as a WWE superstar. But the interesting thing that is not in this report, and I want you guys to know this, and I seen this on WrestleZone.com with Justin LaBar, Josh Eisenberg, and the rest of his guys, okay? And it got me thinking that this is the absolute best thing you can have with Bray Wyatt, you can do with Bray Wyatt. A couple weeks ago on SmackDown, Bray Wyatt won a 31-man Battle Royal. As soon as he won the Battle Royal, he was given a World Heavyweight Championship match against Alberto Del Rio. Why are you putting him in a match with Alberto Del Rio for the World Heavyweight Championship? Now, Bray Wyatt obviously lost this match, which was a dark match after SmackDown. But the only reason here is that they're grooming him for a possible world title feud. Now, this is what Justin LaBar said, and this is the reason why Justin LaBar is my favorite WWE writer. He's all over WrestleZone.com, and he's on the Bleacher Report, okay? Alberto Del Rio loses the World Heavyweight Championship at Hell in a Cell to John Cena. Bray Wyatt causes Alberto Del Rio to lose the the World Heavyweight Championship. The World Heavyweight Championship. Bray Wyatt begins a feud with John Cena for the rest of the year. Can you imagine the feud of Bray Wyatt versus John Cena and what would come to be from that feud? That would be so random. It would be a shot in the arm for the World Heavyweight Championship because that division right there for the World Heavyweight Championship is pretty much dead. It's soaked up and dried. The only one that we have is Damien Sandow, which is looming with the briefcase. Dolph Ziggler, apparently WWE doesn't see anything in Dolph Ziggler. Why? I don't know. Rob Van Dam is gone. He's gone for another 3 months. Who else do you got? Sheamus is out, right? There's nobody else on the SmackDown roster. There's nobody. Mark Henry's out. Rey Mysterio's out. Who do you have? You don't have anybody. You got Del Rio. You got Cena now that the WWE is going to use to pretty much fill that void with everybody missing. And then you have Damien Sandow. And then you got Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt would fit into that scene quite nicely. And I would absolutely love to see Bray Wyatt feud with John Cena. This is what Justin LaBar came up with. Instead of this Miz bullshit, I don't know what's going on with the Miz, but, Bray Wyatt obviously can't wrestle for a month. He's going to be out for a month. He hurt his leg. Nothing too serious. Have Bray Wyatt cost Alberto Del Rio the World Heavyweight Championship. Okay? Or whatever. I don't know. Whatever. Or have Bray Wyatt there in some way, shape, or form. Have Damien Sandow cash in on John Cena. There's so many different ways you can work around it. Have Damien Sandow cash in on John Cena because of a Bray Wyatt interference. John Cena's back. Bray Wyatt has a problem with that. He's got a problem with John Cena's whole character and what he's all about. That would work a lot better. Let me know what you guys think. I think that's a fantastic idea. Bray Wyatt in the World Heavyweight Championship picture. Listen, you want to make something out of him, put him in there. He knows how to wrestle. He's got a great character. He's got such a presence for WWE TV. Why not? Pretty much the World Heavyweight Championship is nothing right now. There's nobody to challenge for that belt. Let a young guy run with the ball. Give him the shot. That's what I think. I think Justin LaBar hit the nail right on the head with that one. As seen on Monday's Raw a couple of weeks back, Eva Marie made her televised wrestling debut as she and fellow Total Divas JoJo and Natalya defeated Alicia Fox. Oksana and Rosa Mendez, they were all together, Alicia Fox, Oksana, and Rosa Mendez, in a six-diva tag match, Eva's performance drew negative reviews online as her inexperience was put on display before millions of viewers, and prior to the match, she had only wrestled before a live crowd once, a non-televised tag team bout at the SummerSlam Access in August. It has since come out that this reaction was sought within WWE as she was purposely set up to fail by members of management. Officials wanted to knock her confidence down a few pegs since they feel she has an undeserved ego and doesn't realize how much she has to learn as a performer. Therefore, they had her sink on national television in hopes of making her humble. All I'm going to say is this. I totally agree with the WWE creative team, management, whatever, for doing this to Eva Marie. You can tell Eva Marie's got that cocky sense, that cocky attitude towards her. Just on Total Divas and the way she comes out on Monday Night Raw, you see it. It's just seething off of her. I'm glad the WWE did this, and I would actually do the same exact thing. You're not going to come into the WWE and strut your shit. You know, you may be attractive. You got the red hair going on. But you're not going to come in there and think your shit doesn't stink. She's terrible in the ring. She's absolutely fucking terrible in the ring. I wouldn't pay fucking 3 cents to see her wrestle again. I wouldn't. She has so much work to do. She shouldn't even be on the main roster. I wouldn't even fucking showcase her on TV in any way. You know? I want women's wrestling back on WWE TV. WWE knows what they have to do. And I gave you guys reports about Triple H wanting to rebuild the Divas division. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But that division seems to be sinking just as fast as the tag team division. It's going back to their old ways after AJ brought that division some light by first capturing the Divas Championship. And the tag team division, you know, a couple months back during the summer was all over WWE TV. What happened? I don't understand. But I commend WWE for doing this. I would have did the same thing to Eva Marie. The WWE was planning to go with just one Hell in the Cell match for the pay-per-view this year. However, that was changed by Vince McMahon on Monday afternoon before Raw hit the air. You guys know how I feel about this. I mentioned this on my Monday Night Raw review. I honestly think there should be only one Hell in the Cell match, and that should be Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan. CM Punk versus Ryback does not need to be in a Hell in the Cell. But Triple H was against having 2 Hell in the Cell matches on pay-per-view, but Vince McMahon went against Triple H and felt that there wasn't enough interest in another CM Punk versus Ryback rematch, so he made that one into a Hell in the Cell. I don't agree with that. Listen, I know this Ryback versus CM Punk feud is dying. Nobody wants to see it. And I you know, the Hell in the Cell structure is meant to blow off feuds. Yes, I understand that. But this feud is not meant for a Hell in the Cell. It's just not. Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton is, because it's for the WWE Championship. It's for the biggest prize in the company. What is CM Punk and Ryback fighting for? That needs to be, you know, inside Hell in the Cell. Nothing. Nothing. It waters down the gimmick. It waters down the matches. Right? Hell in the Cell needs to be that one match that you see once a year to blow off a huge feud. This is not a huge feud. Nobody cares about this feud. And I'm with just common sense on this. One Hell in the Cell should have been kept for just Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan. But listen, I'm not Vince. Vince wants, you know, whatever he wants, and he got what he wanted. So Triple H had the right idea. Vince thought otherwise. The current plan is for John Cena to return to WWE TV for October 28th on Monday Night Raw, the night after Hell in the Cell. WWE wants his first appearance back to be on the pay-per-view, as opposed to putting him on the go-home show to build his World Heavyweight title match against Alberto Del Rio. That is the smart move. I don't think it would make much sense to put him on the go-home show. Save his appearance for the pay-per-view. People are going to want to pay to see John Cena. The little kids and their mothers are going to pay to see John Cena, so let them pay for the pay-per-view. You'll see all John Cena on Monday Night Raw the next night. So that's another good decision by WWE there. In 2008, WWE total revenue from corporate sponsorships was $7.4 million. You guys want to know why WWE wants to stay TV PG? You guys want to know why WWE doesn't want to go back to TV 14 and that Attitude Era? This is why. 2008 total revenue from corporate sponsorships was $7.4 million. Now, after 5 years of pushing their product PG publicly and promising sponsors there would be no more TV, risque TV, that number is now expected to hit $20 million this year. That's why WWE is staying with TV PG. I don't need to explain myself anymore. If you don't understand that, there's no helping you. There's no helping you. Vince is making $20 million this year as compared to 2008, $7.4 million. That's why WWE is sticking with TV PG. More sponsors, more publicity. That's it. That's it. That's a no-brainer. If you're a businessman, what would you do? Take the $7.4 million and go back to TV 14 and the Attitude Era, or make $20 million and abide by the sponsorships? What would you do? Plain and simple. Triple H has once again sent the directive to refocus on the WWE Tag Team division. The plan, as he laid out, was first to get some teams in NXT ready to bring them up to the main roster. as well as take some talented guys on the main roster who officials recognize as underutilized talents and try to get them going as a tag team. Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel are one example of a new team that we may see soon on WWE TV. Now, I'm all for that as long as it makes sense. Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, if Kurt Hawkins is still there, I don't even know. Put them back together. Zack Ryder isn't doing shit on TV. You know, you got the Ascension in WWE NXT. I hear those guys are next to come up. WWE has the tools to have a very focused tag team division. You know, and it's going to be built around Cody Rhodes and Goldust now. You know, they have the tools. I really hope WWE sits down and really revitalizes the tag team division. Now, I would make a commentary on who I would put together as a tag team and how I would revitalize the tag team division. Yeah, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. But hopefully Triple H sticks with his plan this time, because we've seen his plan in motion before, and everybody was thrilled. WWE tag team tournaments and, you know, Monday Night Raw tag team matches and this and that. And with Monday Night Raw recently with Cody Rhodes and Goldust and The Shield in the main event, bringing those tag team titles to somewhat of an importance again, you know, putting that spotlight on them. Wasn't enough, but it was enough to actually say, you know what? That was a great fucking match. I want to see tag team wrestling back on WWE TV. Hopefully Triple H sits down and really sticks with it this time. Now, this is an interesting story. An internal WWE memo from a few years back recently leaked this week and stated a few things of interest. Listen to this. Vince McMahon no longer wants granddaddy of them all used to describe WrestleMania because he feels it makes WrestleMania feel old and dated. Nobody can use the phrase choke for a submission move. Undertaker's Hell's Gate, that was named the Triangle Submission Hold. Producer Kevin Dunn stated that announcers can no longer use the phrase title changes hands. Vince banned the terms 5-star match and match of the year. As part of the memo banning those terms, Vince also wanted all announcers to stop reading the dirt sheets with the idea that it influences what they say. Stephanie McMahon sent a memo for announcers to never use the phrase the referee didn't see it when a heel is doing something behind the referee's back. She wrote that it makes it seem like the announcers are treating the fans like they are in grade school. Stephanie prefers the referee's vision was impaired, or the referee's vision was blocked. Also, never use the word hatred or hate when describing a feud, and the announcers should never say a talent doesn't care about winning a match. I mean, that's a little bit too far. I mean, everyone uses the term 5-star match or, you know, match of the year, title changes hands, choke, granddaddy of them all. That was kind of lame, but, you know, some of these I agree with, some of these I don't agree with. I think Vince and Stephanie and the rest of WWE management are a little bit too strict on what needs to be said and what needs to be done in the ring. Yeah, I mean, obviously it is their baby, it's their product, but some of the shit I read is just fucking stupid. 5-star match? How would you describe a great match? How would you describe a great match? That's the only way I know. Like The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 25. What would you call that? Match of the year. A 5-star match. How else would you describe that match? Oh yeah, that was a great match. Doesn't have the same oomph to it, you know? 5-star match, match of the year. I don't see why Vince is against those, you know, but whatever. That was an interesting thing. I figured I'd throw that in this week's news. WWE officials are disappointed and puzzled that Brie Bella isn't getting over more as a babyface. They couldn't understand why there wasn't more sympathy for Brie when Tamina Snuka was beating her up this past week on Raw. Simple. Nobody cares about the Divas division. Plain and simple. I don't need to, go into further detail. Nobody cares about the Divas division. Why? Because the WWE themselves doesn't care about the Divas division. What else needs to be said? Needs to be rebuilt from the ground up. You got AJ, you got Natalya. 2 great points right there. The Bellas are okay. Tamina can wrestle. You got, Beth Phoenix is not there anymore. Go out and sign Velvet Sky. Go out and sign Karma. Bring them in. You got Divas down in NXT. If they're good enough to go on national TV, bring them up. Bring them up. Revitalize the division. Something needs to be done. Nobody cares about the Divas division. Plain and simple. Now, a lot of people have asked me, JD, why do you think it was okay for the Shield to lose the belts? Why? For those who ask me about the Shield and why they lost the tag team titles to Cody Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes, okay? Vince made the decision. Vince made the decision for Cody Rhodes and Goldust to win the WWE Tag Team titles from Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns on Raw instead of at Hell in the Cell. If it wasn't going to happen on Monday Night Raw, it was going to happen at Hell in the Cell. Word is that Vince wasn't happy with heels holding every title in the company. Now, I don't mind that as a wrestling fan, but I don't mind the Shield losing either. I don't. And I said this on Monday Night Raw. The Shield have been so dominant on WWE TV that eventually they were going to fall off their throne. That's it. They were going to fall off their throne one of these days, sooner or later. Dustin Rhodes and Cody Rhodes were the absolute best team that they encountered. You Shield fans, you should feel no shame in having the Shield lose. It's part of the product. It's only going to enhance this feud. Only going to enhance this feud. And this is the kicker here. It's going to lead to a Cody Rhodes versus Goldust match at WrestleMania 30. So if it's going to lead into that, I'm all for it. But the Shield is still big players. They're going to be massive stars in the WWE. Ambrose is going to be a superstar. Reigns has got the look of a fucking monster. He's going to be a superstar. Seth Rollins is unbelievable in the ring. They all have incredible futures. There should be no shame from any of you Shield fans right now. I don't understand it. Don't worry. It's all for the good of the product. The Shield is not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. Don't worry about it. It's been reported how John Cena is Big E Langston's biggest supporter within the WWE. I've reported this several times on this program. With Cena back from injury already, expect Langston to be featured on WWE TV in the storylines a little bit more. This goes with what was reported in SmackDown on the spoilers for this past week. Now, if you guys don't want to know what happened in a couple of hours on SmackDown, I'm going to, pretty much reveal some spoilers. So if you don't want to know what happens on SmackDown, don't listen any further. But the following piece of news contains spoilers, so like I said, if you guys don't want to know what happens, don't listen. CM Punk defeated Big E Langston in a match that will air this Friday on SmackDown. However, some minor details were not mentioned in the initial report. Apparently, after the match was over, Paul Heyman, Curtis Axel, and Ryback confronted CM Punk. After Heyman and Punk had some words, Heyman and the rest of his goons, Axel and Ryback, attacked Punk. Langston then turned babyface to save CM Punk. Langston also took out Axel, which may be a setup for a possible match between the two at Hell in a Cell. Now, I mentioned this a couple of weeks back. Langston has the look of a heel. He's got the look of a monster heel. I don't know how this is going to work as a babyface, but this is the WWE's doing. This is what they want. John Cena is a huge supporter of Big E Langston. We're going to find out what happens on Friday Night SmackDown. I'd be interested to see what happens with that and how the crowd reacted. But Big E Langston is a babyface. I'm not for it, people. I'm not for it. Langston got the look of a heel, and I think he should remain a heel, just like Mark Henry. He fizzled out as a face. He plays that heel better. That's just the way it goes. Plain and simple. WWE may have pushed the planned match between The Miz and Bray Wyatt, like I mentioned earlier in this report, for Hell in a Cell to the Survivor Series pay-per-view because Wyatt is not cleared to wrestle just yet. Wyatt would torment and haunt The Miz as a way to build up their match until he is cleared to compete at the Survivor Series. Should be interesting to see Bray Wyatt on WWE TV. It's always fun to watch and see how he reacts and what he's got to say. So we'll see what Bray Wyatt has to say regarding The Miz and when that match actually takes place. Now, two more pieces of news and then this week's show is over. Two very important pieces of news. One, the original plans for the WWE Tag Team titles had Cody Rhodes and Goldust winning them from Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns at Hell in the Cell pay-per-view, like I mentioned just a little bit ago. However, Vince McMahon made the decision on Monday night to change the titles on Raw. The Usos versus Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Goldust is currently planned for Hell in the Cell with the tag team titles on the line. So we may be getting a triple threat match. It's not been officially announced yet, but that's what the reports are saying. And finally, for all you guys knowing what I want at WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels versus Triple H, WWE is keeping distance between Shawn Michaels and Triple H at this point in time so that it's a bigger moment when they finally come face to face. And I can't fucking wait till it actually happens, because Daniel Bryan is going to be your new WWE champion with the influential decision of Shawn Michaels. Triple H is going to have a problem with it, and then shit is going to explode. Triple H and Shawn Michaels, that confrontation is going to be absolutely fucking epic. And hopefully, like I've been saying, it leads to a match at WrestleMania 30. That is your WWE News and Rumors, guys, for this week. I hope you enjoyed. If you indeed did enjoy this week's show, please subscribe if you're new. If you're a common listener, if you're a weekly listener, obviously support the channel. Like, rate, favorite, comment, all that good shit. You guys know what to do. I will be back with Monday Night Raw review on Tuesday, as always. And this is JD, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I'll talk to you on Tuesday. Take care.